What is the most disrespectful thing that someone has done in your home? Back in college, my roommates and I hosted a birthday party for a mutual friend at our apartment. Earlier that day we gifted her a pet goldfish because she had been talking about getting a fish. Fast forward to later in the night. Our male friend, let's call him Mike, decided he needed to find a way to impress our other friend, who we'll call Darla. Mike tries every lame joke and pick-up line on Darla and fails time and time again. Then he sees the goldfish in his tank and scoops him up in his hand. He says, "Check this out, Darla." He then pops the fish into his mouth and swallows it alive. My roommate and I immediately rush over and start trying to make Mike puke the fish back up. Darla quickly makes for the door and leaves the party. Sadly, that fish met its doom in Mike's stomach that night. He never apologized, although he did complain about severe stomach issues for several days afterwards. My wife's cousin was staying at our house because he is going through marital problems. One night I woke up in the middle of the night and I heard some change rattling. He walks down the hall with my 5-year-old's piggy bank. He was taking money from my effing daughter's piggy bank to buy beer and smokes. Dude crapped his pants while sitting on my couch playing a video game and just sat there finishing the match. We were having an old-fashioned LAN party and the entire room cleared out. It's really not a true LAN party until someone shits themselves, tbh. I was a kid, my mom had a friend and her son over. They were over for a couple hours and just as they were leaving I noticed all of my video games were gone. I told my mom, she goes grabs his backpack and of course they were all in his bag. His mother immediately came to his defense, saying he's got a lot of games and must have thought they were his. It didn't even make sense and she acted as if nothing had happened. Anyway, terrible mother, kid had no chance. He is now in jail for life, no parole, for shooting and killing a cop during a cocaine bust. Well, that escalated quickly. One day you're stealing video games. Next thing you know you're murdering cops during a cocaine bust. It's a slippery slope, my friend. OMG, that reminds me so much of something that happened to me a few years back. I hosted a Sunday football game viewing. I bought all the pizzas and typical snacks, foods. I just wanted people to bring themselves and not worry about having to bring anything. One of my friends comes by to just say hello for like 5 minutes. She ended up taking 2 entire pizzas and she even brought her own Tupperware containers to take back dips, chips, wings, cookies. So that she and her boyfriend could eat it at her own place while watching the same exact football game that we were watching at my place. When I was in Cub Scouts, in 3rd grade nonetheless, my mom hosted a meeting for the scouts in my grade at school where we built bird houses for some badge or something. While we were waiting for everyone to arrive, me and the scouts who had already arrived started playing in my backyard. One scout, let's call him N, told us he had to go to the bathroom really bad and left. When everyone arrives to start the project, I notice that N was sitting at the edge of the table looking down and my mom was really angry, and was trying her best to suppress it. She asked me and all the other scouts if I had given N permission to go in my room. Me and all my friends said no, he said he had to go to the bathroom really bad. This response only made my mom even more visibly angry and N ducked his head more. 5 minutes later N's mom arrives and is apologizing profusely to my mom. Turns out N went into my room, pocketed the $20 I had been saving up. I got paid $2 a week for mowing the lawn as an allowance, and was stuffing my toys and video games into his backpack. My mom went upstairs to actually use the bathroom and noticed the theft taking place and caught him red-handed. He then lied to my mom and said I gave him permission to go into my room and he was just checking it out. But no, my mom caught him red-handed, and my mom is scary when she's mad. In total he stole around $150 in Game Boy cartridges, Pokemon cards and toys, and around 3 months of allowance. Constantly unplugging electronics. First it was the thermostat, she didn't like the sound the water heater made, then the Wi-Fi, the CIA was snooping on her, and finally my fridge, she was saving the environment. If anyone unplugged my fridge I would gently guide them to the door, nudge them out and never talk to them again. Buddy from college was traveling through town and stayed with my wife and I for the weekend. Nothing crazy, hung out and remembered our college years. A few days after he left, my guest bathroom reeked. Took a bit to figure out, but finally discovered an upper-decker left for us. Disgusting. As in he shat in the tank? Why, after a presumably pleasant visit? Like, what is the thought process here? Revenge? A shitty, pun intended, prank? He must have known that you would figure out he did it. Have you talked to him since? Correct. He thought he was being funny. Our group in college would pull pranks on each other all the time, not this bad. The problem is everyone else matured, he did not. Our paths haven't crossed since he stayed with us, only a few comments in group chats. He hasn't apologized, told me to chill, it was just a joke, honestly, I'm done. A friend from college days stayed in our house while he was looking for a job in the area. The only house rule was, do not let the cat out, he's strictly an indoor cat and never goes outdoors. We came home one day and found the slider and screen open, our beloved cat was gone. When he saw how upset and distraught we were, his response was, "It's only a cat, no big deal." As I've noted here some time ago, we put this guest out right away, and it wasn't until many days later that our cat returned home, thin, but safe. Intruded in a homemade family dinner uninvited and then insulted my cooking. Didn't get a "thank you" either.